World, the world of YouTube. To my subscribers and everybody who has followed the link, welcome. We are going to do a bit of a drive tonight, a drive-in chat. Obviously, as I get a chance, I'll pull over to read the comments and answer them as I can. Guys, it's very important, as I've always said, to take care of yourself, take time for you, do what's important to you. But mostly you got to focus on your mental and physical health. Those are two of the biggest things out there that I can really stress the most to you guys. Don't let yourself get overburdened by negative things that are going to hold you back or hold you down. A few of the big things that I've learned is there's a lot of unnecessary stress, unnecessary burdens that we carry, things that we really don't need to have on us, that we carry with us. And it can really weigh you down, and it can actually really affect your own personal growth through your own personal productivity. A lot of times we get ourselves put into these emotional situations or physical situations where we can't really seem to move past something because we become so emotionally invested in it that it's now controlling our way of thought, and it's controlling the rest of what we do because we're so linked into it. You have to be able to let go of such things and progress forward so that way you can actually maneuver on to the next big step. You know, for all you know, what you're holding on to could really be holding you back, and that's a huge damper on anything that you're trying to do to progress, because what you're constantly mulling around in your mind starts to take over. I try to start out my days every morning with these videos, and like I said before, it's not so much just for you, it's for me too, because it's easy to get caught up in your own negativity. It's easy to get caught up in your own thought process, and a lot of the time it makes it easier if we can hear a little bit of positivity and grow from that. A few of the things that I've learned over the time is definitely picking my battles as far as what I am going to allow to own real estate in my brain. When you start thinking about something so much, it becomes a constant. It becomes so much to you that it really just starts to just consume you. Start waking up every morning, looking yourself in the face and going, you are worth it. You deserve it. And continue to pick yourself up from there and grow from there. Like I say in a lot of my videos, you've got to really build structure in your day to help build the values for what you need to do. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of stuff going on in life, and in my book I talk about two types of thinkers. You have the reactive thinkers and the proactive thinkers. Your reactive thinker is more the person who's always upset, they're always negative, they're always, oh, why me? The real reason why me is because you're not doing anything about it. You're focusing on that negativity, you're sticking to that negativity, and that's it. Now, your proactive thinkers are the ones that are going, okay, yes, there is a problem. I see the problem. Is there anything I can do to fix it, change it, mend it? If not, I'm not going to let it consume my time. I'm going to move on. I'm going to progress in a different fashion. They also look and they go, what can I do to make the situation better? Because there are things that you can do. There's a lot of things that you can do to fix the situation. One of which, if it's completely outside of your control, you can just completely let it go. Move on to the next thing. No big deal. There's a lot of people out there who continuously look at, well, the government's holding this back, this is holding that back. I saw a post today about a young gentleman. I don't remember his name from the post. It's on my Facebook. Young man rode the bus to his graduation. No one there to support him. No one there to help him. No one to give him a hug. No one to shake his hand except for the teachers and the principal and a couple of the other students at the school. He then rode the bus home and then walked from the bus stop the rest of the way home. I'm not sure the whole thing. But people can sit there and say, oh, well, you know, because of this, because of that, that's why I do this, that's why I do that. The real reason why you do this and that and you can cut the crap is because you don't want to do anything else. And that's really it. Start being accountable for your actions. Start getting accountable for the things that you do. A lot of the things that I've learned that have held me back have been because of my own actions. It's like I've said before, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, especially with your own personal growth and success. The things that you do will have an action, an equal or opposite reaction. The things that you don't do will still give you that same equal or opposite reaction. And a lot of times it's not even or opposite. It can be opposite. You know, if you're trying to progress in the company and you want this promotion and you don't ask for it and then prove that you can do it, you're not going to get it. It's nice to want things, but you have to put in the work. You have to put in the time. You have to pay your dues in order to really get anywhere in life. There's a lot of people who really don't go that far in it all because they're afraid to do the work. And that's really what it boils down to. If you don't do the work, you're not going to get anywhere. It's that simple. You know, a lot of people cower from their own personal success because it comes with a lot of work. And that work, it will pay off. As long as you do it, as long as you put in your time, as long as you pay your dues, it will pay off. I promise you. And that's the other thing that I talked about too that I really wanted to get into. You know, it's change. Not all change is bad. Like I said, I've got a little bit tonight. I got a lot of stuff I want to air out tonight. That's why we're doing a full live event. You really have to take control of your situation. If there's stuff in your life that is not making you happy, take charge of it. If there's things in your life that you need, go get it. If there's stuff out there that you need to fix it. Change it. Make it better. Make it work for you. A few of the big things too, like I said the other day, you know, it doesn't matter the age that things happen. There's seasons for everything. I know 60-year-olds who are just now becoming CEOs of companies, and I know 30-year-olds who are CEOs of companies. They all have the same thing in common. They put in their time, they put in their work, but they also trusted the season. They didn't give up. They didn't quit. That's it. I think I read a statistic the other day, and I think it says something like 96% or 95% of the world is employed by the remaining percentage of people who didn't quit. You're always one quit away from success. So why quit now? Why do it? That next big thing that you do could be the huge one that it launches you off. But if you quit, you'll never know. There's so many opportunities out there for stuff. There's so many things that you can do to progress. And you already know the answer. You've touched stuff, you've thought about stuff, and the only thing that you have to do is now execute it. Gary Vee says it best. Ideas are shit. Execution is everything. And it's the honest to God truth. I can sit here and I can come up with this idea, that idea, the other idea, and it's all fine and dandy, but until I do it, it doesn't mean shit. It's garbage. It's junk. It's words on a piece of paper. And yes, I've told you guys, put that stuff on paper. But you have to be able to put that stuff on paper and then execute it. Write down your daily time management goals. Write down your daily this, that, and the other, what you need to do. Get it on paper to get it done. There's so much out there that I know that you guys can do that you might not be doing everything. If you've got to go pound the pavement, go pound the pavement. If you've got to make 1,000 phone calls in a day, make 1,000 phone calls in a day. Give yourself daily goals of things that you want to do. One of my things is I try to make 100 phone calls a day. I try. Do I succeed every day? No. But I'm shooting for that number. And then when I start getting to where I am making 100 phone calls a day, guess what? I'm going to go up to 200. Then when I'm making 200 phone calls a day, I'm going to go up to 300. I'm just going to keep increasing my goal. That way I can try to increase my revenue. You know, one of the things that we do is we try to figure out how many hands we need to shake in a month to figure out how many how many customers that we're actually going to get a sale from. And one of the big things that I've learned is 1 in 4 clients buy. It's just what I've learned from what we do. So if you take that on average, there's 30 days in a month. That means that I've got to shake 4 hands a day times 30. I've got to talk to 120 people in a month. So it's feasible, right? Well, that number is actually a little skewed. You got to bring that number up by about 30. So you got to add 30 to it. So I've really got to shake the hands of 150 people a month. And honestly, I've been falling a little short lately. And it's okay, because I've recognized my weakness. I've recognized my shortcoming. And now all I have to do is work on it to build it back up. And that's the other big takeaway, is learning that when you can grasp the idea of where your shortcoming is, and you can fix it. Like I say this all the time to so many people. If you're at the end of everything that you know to do, ask someone else, because someone else may have a better idea. Somebody may think of something that you didn't think of. You know, look at some of your industry leaders. Go out there and actually do your research in your industry. Find out who is the leader in that industry, and really dig in, and don't be afraid to shoot them an email. Hey, I got a quick question if I can. You'll find out 98% of the people out there, that quick email to them, they'll email you back. They have no problem with it. A quick text message, phone call, they have no problem talking to you to give you an idea where they went, or what they did, what they've changed, how they've structured themselves. And when you can start building that structure, and you can, again, start recognizing that change and seeing that, okay, I'm changing this, I'm fixing this, I'm working on this, it's really starting to build a lot more, your progression is going to get better. And I don't care what you're doing. It could be your weightlifting routine, it could be your day-to-day in your business, it could be your relationship, it could be, pick something. It all works. Your study habits. Just pick something. It doesn't matter. It all works. As soon as you can figure a way, find the smartest kid in the class. Ask them what his study habits are. Find the top 5. Find the top 10 in your class, your industry, or whatever. Ask them what they do to succeed. Listen to it. And actually really listen to it and write it down. And then try to adhere to it. You're going to find some people, some stuff just comes natural. It comes easy for them. And those people are amazing. You're a natural born salesman. You're a natural born student. You're the natural anything. Those people are amazing. The rest of us have to work at it. But that's, again, goes back to the very beginning. You have to work for it. You have to put in the time, the effort, get it done. Do what needs to be done to make the best you. I have a friend of mine who constantly tells me, do things today that your future self will thank you for. My God, if that isn't freaking true. And I'm not BSing you. It's so true. I'm doing this myself. I'm quitting smoking. Quit smoking. If you feel like you drink too much, quit drinking. If you feel like you're partying too much, quit partying. Do things today that your future self will thank you for. Because trust me, the most important person in your universe is you. That's why universe starts with you. It's you. It's here. You have to have that self-respect. You have to have that self-worth. You have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and go, I am worth it. I can do this. And don't let anybody else tell you anything different. Don't. Because the naysayers, they're the ones that are still struggling. The naysayers are the ones that haven't got themselves out yet. The naysayers are the ones that are still sitting there being the reactive thinkers while you're trying to be a proactive thinker. And there's a lot of us who live in a negative paradigm, and my God, I was there for a little bit. I fell into that negativity. And holy crap, changing back out of that negative paradigm into this positive paradigm that I'm in has been one of the hardest things I've ever done. 2, it's been rewarding. Going from all that negativity, that's too bright. Going from all that negativity to this new positive mentality, this new positive charge, has been such an uplifting thing in what I do and the people around me at work. I have people joke with me all the time, oh, you're too positive. Oh, I can't stand you, you're so positive. I would rather be annoyingly positive and uplifting and helpful than to be overly negative, hurtful, and cause damage. Because you can. When you're overly negative, you bring down the psyche of those people around you. When you're negative, you bring other people down, and it really starts to pull them down. Your whole psyche, your whole aura, your whole whatever you want to call it changes, and people pick up on it. When your energy is it's a buzz, it's going crazy, other people feel it, they feed off of it. I've gotten to the point to where I'm starting to actively avoid the negative people around me, and it's becoming noticeable even at work. People are like, well, we don't talk anymore, we don't hang out anymore at work. Well, one, I'm not here to hang out, and I have to tell them that straight away. One, I'm not here to hang out. Two, your negativity is killing me. What do you mean? Well, you're constantly yeah-butting me anytime I give you something positive. Yeah, but you know, this happens and that happens. Guess what? Fucking life happens. Seriously, life happens. You can either choose to become part of the victim, or you can play the part of the champion, the winner, the guy that's out there, the girl that's out there, that's busting their hump, that's getting stuff done, and providing a better future for themselves. I don't drive a nice car and have a nice house because I sat around listening to all the negative people in my life. I went out and did it. I took charge of my life and I did it. I did exactly what I wanted to do. I set out to create the best lifestyle for me that I wanted. Because that's what I want. And again, I'm the most important person in my life. Without me, I don't exist. Again, there's a lot of people out there that are happy playing second fiddle. They're happy being in that mediocre lifestyle. And you know what? That's fine for them, but fuck mediocre. And guys, seriously, stop living in the middle. There's so much better stuff out there for you. I've got so many friends on my Facebook and people that I follow on Instagram and friends on Twitter and stuff like that who literally, they've said the same thing. I'm sick of mediocre. I'm sick of just barely making it by. And they've created businesses around stuff that they enjoy, whether it's painting houses or doing podcasts and being out in the community and really trying to grow the area around them. There's a lot of people who really get into their promoting real big. Find what truly makes you happy. When you find something you love, you never go to work again. It's that simple. You know, and once you can get into that mentality, you're going to continuously grow and succeed. You're building yourself up for a better future. And guys, that's huge. You know, if you're sick of this dead-end job that you're working, change it. If it's not what you want to do and you're finally getting to that point to where, okay, I finally know what I want to do, go back to school for it if you have to. If you have to go to school, go to school. I learned it, like I said, I learn every day. Every day I learn. You know, my grandfather told me once when I was younger, if you don't learn something new every day, you're living life wrong. Holy crap. That was a mind blower for me. Matter of fact, here you go. I had a customer today. Lady, 77 years old. Her attitude and mentality was so positive. It was contagious to the point that 3 other sales managers came over to come hang out with her. The finance manager was in stitches because he was laughing so hard the entire time. You would have never guessed that this woman's husband just passed away. You would have never guessed the amount of hardship that she went through with her life. And I spent a good 7 hours with her today. And I really got to know her. She became a part of my family by the time I was done with all this, because I literally felt like she was my grandmother. Like, seriously. The amount of heartache this woman went through and everything. And she looked at me straight in the face and she said, I'm 77 years old. She says, I want you to do me one favor. I want you to make me a promise. And I looked her straight in the face and said, what's that? She said, do not grow up. Huh? What? Always have fun. Don't grow up. Enjoy this while you can. And I looked at her straight in the face and I said, you're not the first person to tell me that. And I did not understand it until just now. It's okay to be an adult. Absolutely. Be an adult. Follow your dreams. But have time to have fun. You know, yes, I talk a lot about success and I talk a lot about putting in the work, but also don't get too busy making a living that you forget to live. The amount of people that I've talked to in the past couple weeks while this has all been taking off and blowing up and getting bigger has been huge. I've literally had the opportunity to help so many people in so many different walks of life grow themselves on such an emotional and such a personal level. It's been amazing. You guys remember my video, my rant last night about young lady was talking at the receptionist desk, and they were talking about how young men under the age of 20, and honestly, I've seen it in people my age, you know, I'm going to say men from 35 and younger, for whatever reason, are afraid of love. They are. I don't know where we got away from being okay to be emotional. I can be a little bit of a hard ass from time to time, I know, but my friends and family a lot of the time know that I'm joking around. We've stopped caring. We've really stopped loving each other, and we really need to get back to that. You know, we really need to start caring for each other again. We really need to start loving each other again, and all that boils back down to respect. You know, you've got to start having respect. Not just for you, but the people around you. You know, it's been said a million times before. I'm going to say it again. You have to show respect to get respect. And the first person that you need to show respect to is numero uno. Period. There's a lot of stuff out there that's going to pull us sideways. There's a lot of people out there that are going to yell, scream, piss, moan, whatever. But you have to respect yourself first. If you don't respect yourself, you're not going to respect anybody else. And that's big. You know, you've got to be able to fully respect everyone around you by respecting who you are and knowing your own self-worth. There's a few people that I talk to, and I've talked to, like I said, I talk to people from all walks of life. I'm not one of these people that can't talk to people. I talked to a young man a couple months back, fresh out of prison, looking to really better himself. And I've actually had the opportunity, this was probably about 6 or 7 months ago, I bumped into him. And I always dress sharp, always have, always will. He came up to me because he was dressed up pretty good. He was like, man, it's so nice to see someone else dressed up. You know, we've so gotten away from this. I said, exactly, I completely agree. And I said, I greatly appreciate the compliment. We started talking, and he told me a bit of his life story. Young gentleman in and out of prison since he was a kid. He's now 27 or 28, if I remember correctly now. And he's now looking to make that change. He's been hit with a lot of issues because of his record. So it's very hard for him to really get into a position to better himself financially working for others. So this young man went out and bought a lawnmower, money that he borrowed from his grandmother, and he started his own lawn care service. He's been working at it. I haven't talked to him in probably about 3 months now, but he's been putting in the work. He's paying his dues, and from what I understand, he has been doing well. So it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter your past. Your past does not define who you are. Yeah, you did stupid shit. We all did it. No, so have I. But what you do right now is who you are. The kind of life you choose to lead now is who you are. It ain't your past. It ain't where you grew up. It has no bearing on who your mother and father are, because you can have very upstanding, what to do moms and dads in the church, in the community, what have you, and you can still be a scumbag. I've seen it too many times, unfortunately. You can also have the other way, where you have two lower class parents who scrape their knuckles, scrape pennies together, worked 6 days a week in another city, to only see you once a week while you were growing up, so that way you could go on the family vacations. You could have food in your belly. You had clothes to put on. You could go through your 6th grade year where your mom had to make your clothes because you were an odd size, and to find that clothing, it was just too expensive. Guess who I'm talking about? I got picked on a lot in my 6th grade year because my mother had to make my clothes, because we could not afford to buy the clothes that fit me properly because I was a weird size. My dad, the man who raised me, worked an hour and a half away in another city where he was there 5 days out of the week. He'd try to come home in the middle of the week, then he was gone again, and then he was back on the weekend. I got to see him once a week. Twice if I was lucky. But he put in the time, he put in the effort. At first it strained our relationship. My dad and I have a great relationship. My mom ended up taking a job as well to try to help support me and my sister. And, you know, we never did without. We had exactly what we needed. You know, it's been said too that you never get what you want, or you don't always get what you want, I'm sorry, but you do get what you need. And my parents are living proof to the fact that you're going to do whatever it takes. You know, I wouldn't trade them for the world. They did a lot to support me and help me. Sometimes they were my biggest enemy, but, you know, it happens. There's a lot of things in this world that we could use as a negative, you know, and by that right, in and of itself, if you sit there and go, well, I'm a product of my environment, this, that, and the other, that this is why I'm in and out of prison. I grew up in a bad neighborhood. I grew up same place a lot of people did. Like I said, I started in the projects, then we moved out to Nowheresville, which honestly, like I said, I should not be the person that I am today if that statistic holds true. The statistic that does hold true, though, is you are a product of your decisions, the choices that you make. Those decisions are what propel you through this life and into each path that you choose. There's a gentleman that I used to work with at another dealership when I was there, my age. We both got the same start in the car industry. We both started off in a detail department. The difference is now he is a luxury brand specialist and he's a new car director, so he's upper management, and I'm moving into middle management now. That right there shows you, because I made other choices to go elsewhere and to try other things, and instead of sticking with it, that if I would have stuck with it, I could be where I'm at right now. As a matter of fact, there's another gentleman that I work with. He started 6-8 months after I did. He is now one of the general sales managers. He is up there in rank. If I would have stuck with it where I was, I could be in one of those positions. Instead, I chose to make decisions that maneuvered me away from that instead of following my dream. And part of that was listening to other people. You know, the only time that you should really listen to other people is if you look at them and go, is what I'm wearing, does it do something for me? And they go, hell no. Then you go in there and you go change. And even then, I wouldn't always believe them because they might be leading you the wrong way. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. This has been almost a half hour now, guys. I greatly appreciate all the support, all the help. Like, share, subscribe, man. This is turning into an awesome journey. Getting to see the growth, like I said, from the people around me, getting the thank yous from the people. I got a message today from someone, and he was like, man, I've been watching a few of your videos. You don't know me, but thanks for the input. You know, your content is awesome. It's really striking a chord with me. He said, some of the stuff I can tell when you're rambling a little bit, but he said, man, some of that stuff just really strikes home for me. I really hope it does. I really hope that this gets out there and helps people. But again, I'm going to cut it here. Guys, you're awesome. Please, please, please like, share, subscribe, and let me know what else you guys want to talk about. I want to do these live sessions once a week. I've been trying to get around with a couple of my other buddies to get this stuff locked in, but I'm going to start doing it in the car Eventually, we'll hopefully have a studio where we'll have the full podcast going. So just bear with us as we go through the early stages of growth, but we're getting there, guys. Have a great evening.